I'm deleting 99% of the videos on this channel. That would be what I would say if I wanted to be overly dramatic about this situation that I was put in. But also, I think I found a strategy that seems like a good compromise between deleting everything to protect the channel and maintaining the status quo you've become accustomed to. If you just want to know what's going to happen to the channel, you can jump to the end of the video. But yeah, let me explain. For years, I've built a library of simple breakdowns, 200 plus videos dissecting music across genres and eras. The goal was simple: to create a resource that I wish existed when I first started producing. But as the channel grew, established artists and a few companies started targeting me in ways that have now forced me to reevaluate everything. The problem is that sampling is the art of taking a piece of music and transforming into something else, something new. Naturally, most of the time you're using someone else's work, which then means dealing with copyright law. Now, my work here is obviously fair use, which means it's legal. It is transformative, it cannot replace or compete with the original work, adds a visual element to an audio medium, and most importantly, it's educational. That's why I think the major labels leave me alone for the most part. They know what I do here is legal. And I even felt safe seeing companies like TrackLib operate in similar manner without any apparent problems. But after hitting 15K subscribers, that's when things started to get a little weird. And now, after a few months of research, I figured out that I wasn't just dealing with copyright claims, I am simply suffering copyright abuse. I completely understand an artist wanting to have control over their work, but the truth is that once you release a piece of art, you don't own 100% of it anymore. That's how education and new creativity can exist and thrive. Da Vinci doesn't get to pick which universities get to study the Mona Lisa. If it is fair use, if it is transformative, and especially if it's educational, then it's legal. Yeah, I just find it ironic that those who suffered the most with copyright abuse throughout the years are now the ones that are inflicting it. But I don't blame them. The system itself is broken, not just on YouTube, but the law itself is incredibly vague on purpose in a way that offers no real guidance to music creators. So after years of dealing with this cloudy environment, I have reached my breaking point. I'll show you 3 cases that illustrate this frustration that I've been dealing with. And I know that sharing messages isn't ideal, but I need you to see exactly what I've been going through so I can then justify what will happen to the channel next. In case number 1, I received a copyright notice from YouTube saying that I had 7 days to delete a video or I would get a strike. Honestly, I was grateful for that warning. It's way better than just receiving an immediate strike right away. And it turns out before issuing this claim, the artist tried to DM me personally on SoundCloud, which, let's be real, is probably the worst way to try to communicate with another human being. So I never saw that message. At first I was surprised. This is a sampling legend messaging me directly, but their tone was professional and they were reasonable. So I decided to remove the video immediately. I did ask for more details if it was about this specific video or his work in general that he didn't want me to mention, because I had a lot of other unfinished videos mentioning this artist that I had to shelf just to, be safe. I didn't want to step in anyone's toes. Regardless, they were reasonable, so I tried to just match that energy. And then we have case number 2, where I started to notice that something funky might be going on. A major artist dropped a new song, one of the biggest in the world. I loved it so much that within 24 hours, my sample breakdown was ready and uploaded. The video was doing really well until 3 days later, where I received a strike and the video got removed. Then something strange happened. TrackLib released their version of the video, and after it finished getting that first big wave of views you get when you first release a video, then my video came back. The strike just disappeared. At first I thought that their video was okay because the way it was presented and edited. So I was going to change my video to be something similar, but it came back before I could do that. So that got me thinking, I guess the original video was fine after all. But then again, I was left confused and with some conspiracy theories. Was the strike a mistake? Or was it because I released the video so fast that I got caught in the middle of the label trying to take down re-uploads of the song? Or maybe it was because TrackLab had a deal with the publishing company and my video being released so early messed up their release. Regardless, here is what really matters. If the strike was issued wrongfully, then why is there no penalty? It feels like YouTube's system lets anyone control your channel with zero consequences. But it was okay. I still felt safe. This was the only strike I ever gotten from a major label, and it just vanished. So again, I thought that I could just keep doing what I was doing. But then we arrive at case number 3, where it hits the fan. I got a copyright strike from an artist I'll call Redacted. Some subscribers had already warned me about this person because they are known for, let's say, not being friendly. So I made every video involving them private, just to be safe, and then I sent my usual email. I'll respect your wishes to remove your work from my channel, but please retract the strike. It puts my entire channel at risk. The next morning, I checked my email expecting either a reply or a strike retraction. But instead, I got a second strike, and this time on a private video. 3 strikes in 90 days deletes your channel. I was now 1 strike away from losing everything. And each strike lasts 90 days. So this meant 3 months of complete stress for me. It took 4 years to reach 25,000 subscribers. It is not massive and is definitely not worth the amount of effort I put in. But being candid here, this channel is like a third of everything I've built in my adult life. So this matters to me. It was the pandemic. I had just returned to Brazil after 6 years in the United States, and sadly, basketball life was pretty much over for me. Since coming back, I've gone through 4 surgeries in 3 years, and I have another one coming up. But yeah, I was broken physically, a little bit emotionally, but I still had producing, something that at that point I had invested into for 3 or 4 years. The problem was I didn't feel good enough at it. So while stuck in bed recovering, I started to break down the music I love, really humbled myself and studied really hard. Learned multiple instruments, watched every tutorial, immersed myself in a bunch of production communities, and the YouTube channel became sort of a notebook, a place for me to share while I was learning, while pushing myself to keep learning. It sort of made me believe that regardless of my age, I could still do this. So I gathered all the people in my life and told them that I wanted to fight this. And I explained to them then what that meant, and I will explain it to you now. When you get a strike, you can counterclaim. That means you can dispute the strike, claiming fair use. The other party then has 10 days to show YouTube that they have filed a lawsuit. If they don't, the strike disappears. But if they do, then that means I am now in an international lawsuit. YouTube couldn't help much, but they did acknowledge that there might be some abuse going on, and they gave me a few tips, so I proceed with the counterclaim. Halfway through that 10-day period, Redacted finally replied to that first email with one of the strangest emails I have ever received. There were a lot of switches between the third person and first person. At first, I thought that I was talking to a manager, but nope. After reading it for a little bit, it's clear that I'm talking to the person directly. I was, though, advised to not reply. Last time I did, Redacted issued another strike. They escalated the situation, but it was acknowledged in their email that it was all a misunderstanding about people doing re-uploads of Redacted's music, which was ruining his algorithm. But I never did that. I don't re-upload music. But they also acknowledged that the strikes would be retracted. They weren't, but the lawsuit didn't come either, and the 10 days passed. Then I woke up to 2 emails the following day. One from YouTube saying that the videos that were struck down were restored, and another one from Redacted titled GG, like some video game trash talk. And it is so silly that it's funny. It was so edgy. In that email, it was claimed that I was using their work for monetization purposes, accused me of stealing, and then they threatened legal action against me. So I replied, still trying to be reasonable, and try to calm their concern. I explained that I wasn't even given an opportunity to delete the videos because I don't have access to them while they are striked. I showed proof to them that 99% of my videos are not monetized and I make zero money from Redacted's content. It was actually the other way around. They made money off me. 99% of the time, the copyright holders take all the money from the videos. And number 4, the legal deadline passed. I was, of course, offended, but I also felt safe. YouTube had assured me that if someone misses the lawsuit deadline, that they can't just strike again the same video. So then I thought it was just over. It was not. Almost 3 weeks later, Redacted emailed me again, and this time it felt a little personal. He moved the goalpost again. First, it was about re-uploads, which I never did. Then it was about monetization, which is not true. And now it became about the honor of being a sample-based producer, which is so silly. We are in 2024. AI can detect every sample anyway. This argument is incredibly outdated. Plus, how can I be sample snitching when everything I ever did is publicly available information? You can just do quick research and figure it out. Honestly, I've been dealing with the sample snitching comments ever since I started the channel, and I just find that argument the dumbest thing. I have no patience for that type of argument. So I ignored that message. I was getting upset at that point. I didn't want to say anything that I would regret, and it would be pointless to reply because Redacted wasn't acknowledging any of my previous points. So why would I even try to talk to him again? Honestly, I don't think they dislike the content. I think they have a problem with me. And at that point, for whatever reason, there's nothing I can do if they just simply don't like me. But since Redacted couldn't strike me directly, the claim came from someone else. 11 days later, I got another strike. Since Redacted couldn't do it, the label did it. And I knew that they didn't want to do that. They have always had a positive relationship with me and my content. Many times they could have struck down my videos, but they manually chose the option to just claim the content and make money from it instead, which sort of shows their perspective towards me and my work. So I reached out, explained the whole story, and to their credit, they were reasonable with me. I get it. They want to support their artists, but they also know that going to court over this would be completely pointless. They then removed the strike and I didn't delete the video, but it is private on my channel and it's been that way ever since. No issues. Then I asked the question that in hindsight was quite naive. I was just trying my best to keep the status quo, trying to protect the status quo. I basically asked for written permission to keep doing what I've been doing, helping promote music, create value to artists and labels for free, while providing this learning resource for music producers. I just wanted to do it without the constant fear of getting struck again. But of course, no label is going to put that in writing. It's much better for them to just let creators operate in this vague, uncertain system that allows them to do whatever, whenever. Still, believe it or not, I do not hold any grudges toward any company or even Redacted. They're just a symptom of a much bigger issue, a problem that is clearly making my work here unsustainable. I can't keep building this library of videos, pouring in time, energy, and creativity just to have it all become a bigger target as it grows. I know my work is clearly fair use, but I can't trust that that will keep me safe. And honestly, I'm tired of dancing around copyright owners. I just can't work like this. Always looking over my shoulder is really exhausting. I got too much that I want to do. Too many videos I want to make, gear that I want to review, beats I want to finish, and health that I need to take care of. And it's just sad. Like, I can't believe that after all that I've done, I can't believe that it now feels like it is a waste of time, that it has become a waste of time. But thankfully, I think I found a way to not delete everything, but it is also not painless either. Instead of wiping the channel and moving everything exclusively to the Patreon, I'm going to use a YouTube tool that lets me mute the section of videos that contain copywritten material. The bad is that a lot of the videos will have major chunks muted, and that sucks. I hate turning a useful, passionate work into half-silent messes, and it feels like I'm removing a resource that people sort of expect from me now. But I have no choice. 3 copyright strikes could end everything permanently. If that happens, I won't even be allowed to make another channel. And honestly, I'd rather just delete all the videos and start from scratch than let years of work just vanish overnight. The good though is that muting keeps the videos alive. Most of my views come from search, which means older videos keep getting discovered over time. So producers, fans, and learners can still stumble upon them. The sample breakdowns will basically become a marketing tool for my Patreon, because if you want to access the full videos, the whole library will be over there for probably like $1 or $2. Since I need, some kind of return for this work, otherwise it's just not sustainable to keep putting all this effort in. Muting also makes things harder for copyright abusers. If they want to strike a muted video, they'll have to manually find it and go through those extra steps. That kind of friction might be enough to stop random or malicious actors, especially because it will probably require legal consultation on their end. And here's the ironic part. By muting the copyrighted sections, I'll actually start making money from my videos. It feels weird even saying that. I've gotten so used to being exploited, spending hours on videos, getting no instant gratification, watching all the ad revenue go to the same people who can turn around in an instant and just nuke my channel whenever. So the idea of even making 1 cent from my videos feels sort of like some poetic justice. If fair use actually meant something for music creators, I'd probably be making the equivalent of 2 Brazilian minimum wages passively just from the views that my channel gets every month, which it's not a lot of money at all, not life-changing money at all, but it is something. And the way things are now is just demoralizing. I was trying to do something positive and I feel like I got spit in the face for it. So here's what I'm gonna try. Instead of deleting everything, I'll mute the automatically claimed section of my videos, move the full versions of those videos to the Patreon, redo the most popular videos since I've gotten good enough at recreating things that I don't always need to play the original music anymore. The quality of the videos will go down. For example, I won't be able to play as much of the sample before the breakdown. So you will probably see 2 versions moving forward. The usual deep dive on the Patreon, and on YouTube, a shorter copyright safe version. I didn't want to air all of this publicly, but I do owe all the people that like my channel and check up on me. I owe you guys an explanation about what happened to the channel, why I've been acting weird this past year, and exactly what I've been going through behind the scenes. This is not a cash grab. This is me just desperately trying to find a solution to a situation that has become unfair, unsustainable, and straight up exhausting. So yeah, see y'all later or never. Like, I don't know how copyright owners are gonna feel about me making money while they stop making money off me. Muting might not even work, and then I'll have to delete everything from the channel anyway, and then just move everything to the Patreon and start making other types of content. But again, I have way too much stuff that I want to do, but I don't want to stop making the content that people expect from me, even if it's just like once a month, because I know people like it. I've become quite good at it, but I don't know. All that I know is that you can expect more from me, I guess. Thanks.